morning, everyone. It is 8:39. Welcome back to CW Iowa Live. Lou and Jackie here on a Thursday morning. It's December the 1st, and everywhere you look, things are starting to turn and starting to point toward the direction of the holiday season, Jackie.
That's right, and we are downright proud to salute a wonderful organization along with Stivers Ford Lincoln, and this one is very unique. I was contacted about this, loved the idea where if you buy a tree, which we all right now are for Christmas.
Thinking about it?
If you buy a tree, you can change a life, and we're going to learn more about that right now.
Yeah, Pastor Nelson Foster is joining us in studio right now, and there is an opportunity to really make a difference with a simple purchase.
Absolutely.
Tell us all about it.
And you look very festive this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank
a lot
you.
of compliments on the hat, so I was hoping I'd get to wear it today. But Buy a Tree actually Change Life actually began in Homestead, Florida. One of our churches there had a member in their church that wanted to adopt a child. It was going to cost the family about $25,000 to adopt a child, and the church gathered together and tried to figure out a way, okay, how can we make this happen? They decided to sell Christmas trees, which is kind of odd for it to come from the state of Florida. You wouldn't think about it as much.
So that's what, the Miami area?
Yeah, right, Miami-Dade. And so they were able to raise the money to help that family out, and that's kind of how the project began. It's traveled across the country. We're the only site right now in the Iowa area to go all the way to the Dakotas. And so that's kind of where it began, with the idea of how can we help children both globally and locally. And of course everybody wants to do that, want to help those that are misfortuned and all those kind of things like that. So our church of course knew about it through them and through some of our other associates that have kind of come on board with that, and we were like, okay, this might be a good opportunity for us to be able to do missions work or help those children that are overseas in the Cambodia areas where some of the proceeds from our raising money goes, and then also to be able to help children in our local area right around the Des Moines area and things along those lines. So that's where it began and how it started, and so it's just kind of blossomed from there.
Now, what church are you involved with?
I pastor the Cross Community Church in Des Moines, Iowa. We are a part of the Church of God based out of Cleveland, Tennessee, and we've been on site now for about 4 years. We've been together as a church for 10. We celebrate 10 years this year, but we've been at the location that we're at now for about the last 4.
So how does this work? How, if I buy a tree, does it change a life?
Okay, the best way is when someone, and kind of how we work is when you come in, buy a tree, and the trees are very affordable. They range anywhere from about $25 on up to the largest trees, which are about 120, which are 10+ foot trees. So people can come in, or they can call. We'll deliver trees. They can call us, but they come in, pick which tree they want, and the monies that come in for those tree sales go toward the projects of there in Cambodia and also the ones that we're helping here locally.
So these are fresh cut trees?
Absolutely. They were delivered to us a little over a week ago from Michigan, and they're Fraser firs, and they are absolutely gorgeous. This is our first time of ever doing anything like this, so we weren't really sure what to expect either.
What kind of success rate you had, but this is
the first initial year, project. So everything is wide open and new.
So
new things all the time.
Your church parking lot is kind of becoming a tree farm right now.
It's a tree farm, and it doesn't take up as much room as we thought. That they were. Again, we weren't sure exactly how to expect, so we had area set aside for it. And by the time we got the trees in there, we're like, well, it doesn't take up as much room as you would think. Of course, most of the trees are still wrapped.
I was going to say, are they
delivery.
Wrapped, make them compact?
And we've got a couple set out in front of the church that kind of let everybody see what the trees look like once they're open. And we got ours, the first year of us doing a real tree, and it filled out so much. Matter of fact, my daughter looked yesterday and said, that's a huge tree. And it does. It just bloomed out so beautifully. They really are phenomenal looking trees.
So do we need to bring anything, or how does this work? We just
no, you come and
money,
you purchase
maybe,
the tree. Money is always great.
Yeah, okay.
The greatest thing, and matter of fact, we've ran into a lot of several that have taught this. We have pets, cats, dogs, so we can't do the real tree. We've had $400 come in already from people that just gave money that didn't want to take a tree.
Oh, that's
so donations are wonderful as well. But you come in, you buy the tree, and some people we asked, if you'd be willing to give more toward the cars. Kind of like when you go into a local convenience store or whatever, and they're doing some of their extras. Would you like to give an extra $1? But we've had some that have donated more. We've had a couple businesses already come on that have helped sponsor and support the program as well. And we're still in the process of doing that. We're trying to reach out to local companies or local business, because advertising is insanely expensive. And everything that they give to us, we put their names on our advertisements and things along those lines, and that way that company also gets some advertisement for helping. But the purchase of the tree is the monies that will go, and also if people are willing to give more. We actually had one church that had a group come in and bought a tree, and I think it was $3,000 that they paid for that tree, which is, most of that would have been just a donation for the cause.
Okay, so if people are excited, they're like, you know what, we were getting ready to go get a tree. Why not give back in a great way at the same time? Where do they need to go tree shopping?
They can go to our church, which is in our parking lot, which is 8383 Ridgeview Drive.
Okay, now you need to explain where this is at, okay? Because this is kind of hidden away a little bit. It is.
We are tucked away. We're right before the woods, and so I always tell people if you.
Yeah. So here's the irony, folks. They're right before the woods. Yet they trucked in some trees from Michigan for this project.
If we'd had more pine trees in that back lot, no. But
tell everybody how to get there. Now, for an idea, first of all, a general ballpark area where you are located.
We're in the Greenfield Plaza, Hills of Coventry area,
which is where?
Just off of County Line Road, which is the housing development behind Southridge Mall.
Southridge Mall.
Yep.
Just behind
Southridge Mall. And it does kind of wind back through there. One of the things that we're trying to do now and wanting to do now is get some signage that'll point people in the right direction because it does kind of wind back through the neighborhood.
Okay, so I'm on the bypass and I'm coming to your location. If I get off at 14th Street, how would I get to your place?
If you get off at 14th Street, you would come like you're going into Des Moines, and you would come up to there's the Garden Center, Earl May right there. You can take a left at those red lights. That'll take you back in to the housing development, and then you turn left on Dema. Basically, Dema drives you all the way back. You kind of wind, but you wind all the way back down to, I believe it's Greenfield. Take a right, top of the hill is Ridgeview. You can't miss our church once you get to that point.
Okay.
If you don't mind taking a rock road, you can go up to Southwest 9th, get off there, and go away from Des Moines. And the first little rock road to the left when you cross or get off the bypass there, you can take that back up, first left. That'll take you in as well. That'll wind you through as well if you don't
like
mind
a little adventure getting there at the same time, Jack.
It might be easier to. I always tell people you need 2 GPSs and a map. It's just kind of one of those things where we're kind of off the beaten path. But like I said, that's one of the reasons why we also offer delivery to bring trees to you and everything like that in case you can't get in.
And if people want that offering, how would they go about getting that?
They can give us a call, either myself or my wife. The phone number for me is 515-419-3784, and the phone number for my wife is 515-418-2486. And they can call either one of those numbers. If they get to the lot and someone's not right there, they can call those numbers as well, and we can get somebody there just really quick if someone happens to be away from the stand at that point.
I was just going to ask that. What are the hours of
We're
operation?
pretty much open any time.
Okay.
Kind of the main hours through the week are from about 4 to 8 p.m. and then on Saturday we pretty much try to have it open all day long.
All day.
But we actually live right there on site, so it's very easy for us to kind of watch and be on the lookout.
Okay, tell us about Sophie.
Sophie is a wonderful story. She's a young lady that we met through the Homeowners Association in our neighborhood and got to know them through that, but she suffers from juvenile arthritis.
Okay.
And when she's around, I mean, she's a stem winder. She is constantly on the go. One of those you look at and say, my body couldn't take that kind of energy. But then there's those days where that disease kicks in and she's not able to do those things and she's not able to function. Right, and we wanted something that when we said we're doing locally, she's one of the ones that we really wanted to focus on. As everybody knows, with insurance and things like that, they have $4,000 right up front out of pocket before any of those insurance benefits kicks in. They were actually, a matter of fact, when I called her mom to ask if we could use her information on the show today to make sure we had that. But we had permission for like Facebook and things like that, but I wanted to make sure we had it before we came on. They were actually in Iowa City for some of the treatment plans, or from some of the treatment things. If it were not for insurance covering things, her one medication alone would be $12,000 a year.
Wow. So
they're looking at this, and all of their travel expenses, their hotels, their food, all those kind of things like that come out of pocket. And so as we were kind of looking at what we wanted some of our local work to be, Sophie was the one that came to mind first. And it'll go toward helping some of those, offset some of those costs. They're also looking at, just had a prescription written for a new chair for her for those times that she can't walk that far.
Right.
And they don't know yet if insurance is going to cover that, but those chairs can run $1,800 to $2,000.
Right.
And so the expenses for everything that insurance doesn't cover is just astronomical. So not only is it to help bring awareness to this disease, but it's also to help this family and this mother as she helps her daughter through this process.
But it kind of helps to put a face to the help that you're trying to give this holiday season.
Absolutely. And we went into this first time with not knowing exactly how it would be, so we didn't want to try to do something that was way beyond our means. We know that we can't help everybody, but we felt we sure could start with Sophie.
Great start.
Oh, I love what you guys are doing. So give us all the basic details again. We need the address, phone number, and just how we can go get a tree.
Okay, the Cross Community Church, 8383 Ridgeview Drive, Des Moines, Iowa, 50320. My phone number is 515-419-3784. My wife Rachel's phone number is 515-418-2486. They can go there. They can go on our Facebook page, Buy a Tree, Change a Life Des Moines. That gives more information there. Feel free to call us. Any way that we can help our kids globally and locally is great, and just don't hesitate to call us. Like we said, I don't know that everyone offers the delivery option, but it's definitely there for us. We'll help any way we can.
And just a reminder,
thank you so much.
In case you just want to give a donation, you can do that as well, folks. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Downright
Thank you for allowing us. We appreciate it.
All right, it's 8:49 right now, and we will be right back. And when we come back, folks, another word of the year, but this time you have a chance to change what the current one on track to be the word of the year for Merriam-Webster is. We'll tell you what that is next on CW Iowa Live.